All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry to keep you all waiting. I hope you made it. It's nice to see such a big attendee list. We're here for a very exclusive and special webinar in our series. We have Vrbo and Hostaway here tonight. We're just going to wait a few seconds. I see the number of participants is still, wow, there's a lot. That's great. All right, it looks like the number of participants is stabilizing. So first of all, thank you, everyone. I see some familiar names and I see some new faces here. This is our first webinar together with Vrbo. And for those of you who joined our previous webinars, we're going to do this a bit differently. So yeah, next slide. We're gonna you're going to be able to ask questions now because Vrbo and Expedia, they're a publicly traded company, and because Hostaway is not a publicly traded company. For those reasons, we cannot answer all the questions, but we will do our best to answer as many questions as we possibly and legally can. So you can type in questions there either at the during the webinar or at the end. Now. We'll record this session. It will be automatically sent out. Now, first of all, let me introduce you to John, who is the Vrbo evangelist. John, thank you very much for joining us today. Where are you calling in from?
I am in Seattle.
All right.
Spring has not sprung here. We are not celebrating spring break yet.
I guess it's a bit gray and cloudy.
Yeah,
right?
We're looking forward to it. Maybe
all
in
right.
August.
Same thing here in Toronto. It's a bit gray and cloudy.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Good. So we're here today to talk about 7 trends to drive better bookings. Now we're not gonna keep it simple. We're gonna make it have 4 different topics here. So first of all, empowering your success with Hostaway and Vrbo, top trends, and this is the exclusivity part. This is where Vrbo comes in, and they have data that nobody else has, and this is data that you want to know and you want to hear about. So we hope you stick around. Now, the value of Vrbo for property managers, we also know that a couple of you aren't actively using Vrbo right now, or Hostaway for that matter. So we'll be more than happy to give you a short overview, and then we'll get to the QA section. So yeah, let's start a little bit about Hostaway. So we're a vacation rental software. We're a channel manager and PMS in one. Although we're a younger company than many others, we used to be called the fastest growing, and that's not for, well, there's a good reason for that. We simply have a really amazing product, and if you go and look at our reviews, you'll see that it's not only the product that's great, it's also that our customers really get value from it, and our support works. But shortly, we connect to all the major OTAs, such as Vrbo, and you can manage all your bookings, your guests, your cleanings, your financial reporting, your owners, your staff. You get your own website, and of course, we have a native mobile app and a marketplace with more than 35 different integrated software partners. So yeah, that's about us. Now, regarding Vrbo, we saw last year that they are really on a rocket ship right now, and we decided to quickly make some improvements to make sure that the connection works even better. So one of the things that we'll share a bit more about later in the presentation, we've added a whole suite of new amenities that help you market your properties on Vrbo better. Our connection quality has always been high, but even just now, I know that people sometimes have problems on other platforms when the connection quality isn't high, and it's just something I wanted to point out, that we always make sure that, because we want to avoid any missed messages, we want to avoid any double bookings at all costs, and that's a priority for us. Something that we have added is also financial reporting, owner reports. That becomes very important when it comes to dividing the actual revenues. And something that we launched recently is pre-authorizations for credit cards, which is really useful when you have guests and you want to make sure that they give you a security deposit. Now on to John.
Yeah, I am really happy to be here. Thank you, Marcus, for inviting me. We have a really, really great partnership with Hostaway. And some of the outcomes that we've had so far, really great reviews on Hostaway property managers, 4.63 average out of 5. And that's very, very high. That's really, really great. And growth since we began our partnership. Marcus mentioned the rocket ship. That's how it's been growing with our partnership as well. And really, really strong listings growth in 2020 as more and more property managers are choosing Vrbo. So thank you for having me here, and I'm thrilled with our partnership.
So are we. Now, I'm just going to share a little bit. I used the term exclusive when I marketed this webinar. I'm going to share a little bit of something that we normally don't share, just like Vrbo. So here's a sneak peek of the product roadmap. What's coming up. So one of the things that we're launching any day now is to collect the Vrbo taxes from Hostaway. That will simplify the lives of a lot of property managers. We're also adding new payment options and payment service providers, and electronic signature for rental agreements, which is so important when it comes to guest bookings and especially managing credit card payments. Now, we do have an owner portal, and we're planning to add owner statements to that. Also track the expenses, and something that we recently added to our communication tools is the support for text messages and WhatsApp, which is just really important because people don't always tend to read their email, especially not when they're on holiday. And something that we haven't publicly announced yet, but you can already see it on our website. We have more than 50 integrated software partners on our marketplace. And this year we're planning to add a lot more of them. So check it out on our website. And yeah, if you're not using Hostaway, why don't you just send an email to sales@hostaway.com right now? And maybe I'll even get back to you during this webinar. All right, John, let's, now it's your turn.
All right, here we go. Yeah, Marcus had just mentioned 50 different partners. We want to be your best partner. And part of the seminar is to talk about what we're doing to earn your business. And we understand that we have to earn your business in order, and your trust in terms of moving forward. So I'm going to share with you some of the top trends that are happening to drive better bookings. And note that it's not just more bookings, it's better bookings, right? And so the whole idea is to improve the level of professionalism, improve the level of the guests that come to you, and just improve everything just in general. I want to share with you a vision statement of Expedia Group that we came out with earlier this year. And it's, and I got to tell you, I've been in high tech for 35 years, and I've worked for a lot of different companies. And, every year they talk about their vision for the future. And, 99 times out of 100, you go, yeah, well, whatever. They're just words. This year was different. We have a new CEO that just celebrated his first anniversary with us. His name is Peter Kern. And he's an amazing guy. And through everything that happened in during COVID-19, we really, really did a lot of self-reflecting. We all did. All of us did. And this is what we're all about. And this is what we're all about moving forward. This is not just a 2021 thing. This is where we are going. That force is a travel for good. And we are a force for travel. And when I say we, I mean the collective we. You, we, Marcus, all of us. We are a force for travel, which is a force for good. So simply stated, we are a force for good, right? And so everything that we're doing is to bring the world together. And you're going to see more and more of different initiatives. And I'm going to talk about some of those things. Now, the trends that I'm going to talk to you guys about today are come from all different kinds of data sources. The first is from Vrbo. The second is from Expedia Group. The third is from COVID-19 research. And the fourth is from marketplace data, which is actual data that we have. We have a lot of data. And one of the things that I'm mostly excited about for the future is our vision to bring that data to life for you, but also to bring the data that we have to you, right? And this is data that nobody else in the world has. And so we're going to move forward with this. And but these are the 4 different places where we're getting our data from. The first one is it's all about families. We are laser focused on families. Okay, families are it's all about families for us. And so our mission is to find every family the space they need to relax, to reconnect, and to enjoy precious time together. And so everything that you see, everything that you're going to be seeing is all about families. And I want to share with you a video. This is one of our videos that we're moving forward with. And we are working with John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. And the voiceover for this is John Legend. And this kind of just gives you an idea of where we're going and what we're all about.
This is the canoe that a young couple will get gloriously lost in together. This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond. These are the woods where daughter will tell her mother she's nervous about starting a new school. This is the pool where cannonball records will be broken. This is where new parents will remember life before becoming new parents. And this is the kitchen where the new boyfriend will unofficially become family. These are the Vrbo vacation homes waiting for you to fill with your family. Your together awaits. Find it with Vrbo.
Isn't that awesome? Okay, now how do I get out of this? Okay, gonna go here, gonna go here. I had this, I practiced it, and now I just messed up. Okay, that's okay. All right, isn't that awesome? I love that. I love that because it's life, you know, and it's heart and it's love and it's what we're about. It's what you guys are all about, right? It's about bringing people together and bringing the world together. And so aside from that, there's also a business reason for focusing on family travel. Despite the ongoing pandemic, families are planning to travel a lot this year, right? 82% already have travel in mind for this year. 65% said they're going to travel more this year than they did in 2020, in 2019 and 2020, certainly, when it's safe to do so. And 57% expect to travel and book trips in the first half of this year, which may explain why you guys are seeing some of you guys are seeing such a big spike in your year-to-year numbers. All right, families often book with Vrbo, and it's very, very interesting. Global demand last year for large family homes, which is four bedrooms and larger, went up by 60%. So people want family homes, and people want to participate, and people want to rent family homes, and folks are traveling in larger groups. The average number of people in a Vrbo group is more than double than that on the other Expedia Group sites. For example, on Vrbo, the average is 4 adults and one child. On hotels and Expedia.com in the United States, it's 2 adults and one child. So much bigger groups, much bigger travel significance. And here's another thing, Vrbo travelers stay longer and they spend more money. Now, the Vrbo traveler typically stays 3 times longer than travelers booking on other sites, other EG sites, Expedia Group sites, like hotels.com and Expedia. The average Vrbo traveler spends 5 times more at $1,756 on Vrbo versus $315 on hotels and $374 on Expedia.com. So this is really, really significant. And the really cool thing about it is that, you know, as bad as COVID-19 was and continues to be, one amazing thing that came out of it was the discovery of you, the discovery of vacation rentals, because nobody wants to hop in elevators. Nobody wants to be around a whole bunch of people, right? And all of a sudden, lo and behold, there's this gigantic spike in awareness in vacation rentals and the space and the security that you guys offer. And that spike isn't going to go away. That demand spike is going to find a new equilibrium, which is very, very exciting. So trend number 2, Flexcations. Okay, this is a term that Vrbo came up with, and let me tell you what that is. Flexcations are basically flexible vacations, and the whole idea is that these flexcations involve longer stays and more stays, because what's happening because of COVID-19 is that people are taking advantage of flexible work and flexible school. And they're taking advantage of the fact that they don't have to be at home. They can be anywhere in the world where there's a Wi-Fi connection, and they can go to school, they can go to work. And so the thing that you guys have to understand about this is that the phenomena has created something that I call live versus play. During the whole vacation, the vacation process, people want to use your homes as a base, and they want to use your home to sleep, to live, to have fun, but they go out for dinner, they go out to play to the beach or skiing or whatever, right? What's happening now is that people are using your homes less to live and more to, less to play and more to live. They're cooking inside your homes. They're spending more time inside your homes. They're playing in the homes. They're not going out to restaurants. They're not necessarily going out so much to play and vacation, but they want to go someplace really, really cool. And they want to get out of their house. And so they're coming to you. So those folks who have done it, more than half of them have found the experience really refreshing, which is really great. And 2/3 of them said that they'd do it again. So want to bring on, and one of the things about our presentation, just so that you know, is that we're going to, Marcus and I are going to kind of come in and out, because I'm going to present the trend and Marcus is going to help to understand how to manage Hostaway to be able to take advantage of all this. So with that, here's Marcus.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we saw actually last summer when we have clients all around the world, and last summer what we saw, it was very, very different how things were going, and we started seeing these trends, and didn't really understand why were some places completely empty and others fully booked. Well, I think we all have our stories from last summer, but there's a couple of things that you can do in order to attract more families, and some of them, because I spoke to some of our property managers and asked them, how can you monetize on this, and they didn't always know. And some of the things are really, really simple that you can do right away. So I'm showing here how we support extended length of stay on Hostaway, but keep in mind that families often include parents. And parents have one thing in common, all of them. I have not yet met a parent who wouldn't say that they're not busy. Every single parent is busy. And one thing you can do when you market your properties to families, just make the decision process super simple and super easy. So a good example, if you have a lovely house that a family could rent, change the title from lovely house and call it family friendly house. That's super simple, but anyone who's a parent and is looking for a family-friendly place, it sounds a bit stupid, but it actually works, because they're looking for shortcuts. They don't want to browse through hundreds of properties. They just want that family-friendly. And if you really want that booking, just take the first picture there, show the backyard. Don't show the living room, which is probably great. Show the backyard. If it has any kind of toys or play set outside, that's even better. That just makes the decision-making process so much faster. So yeah, really take that with extended stays, and you can really see the bookings go up.
Family friendly. That's brilliant, right? People are looking through the listings going, is this family friendly? Is this family friendly? Just tell them it's family friendly. So yeah, very cool. And so, and having the right amenities for Flexcations is really, really important. And one of our statistics and one of the experiences that we found is that travelers are 47% more likely to rule out a property if it has poor amenity descriptions. So trend number 3, amenities are really, really important, okay? Now we're going to talk about amenities. These are the top popular filters on Vrbo. You guys can take a screenshot of this if you want. And so these are the things that you really want to feature. We're going to be coming out with more and more and more all the time. But for now, these are the ones that, that folks are looking at from an amenity standpoint, from the rooms and spaces. Make sure moving forward that you also take photos and feature workspaces with desks and things like that. Again, the whole Flexcation phenomena and the location type. So if I'm not mistaken, I think we have, no, I am mistaken, sorry. This is how it shows up. This is how it shows up, where people can click on the amenities that they're looking for, and it'll filter all the search results given those amenities. So make sure you have the amenities specified that we recommend, because the ones that we specify and we recommend to you guys are based on tons and tons and tons of research and actual live data. Now, if I'm mistaken, I'm really going to be embarrassed. I think the next slide is about a poll. Yes, okay, we have a poll. And the poll is simply for you to tell me which do you think are the top 5 essentials for family travelers on Vrbo. Okay, so you should have a poll in front of you, and you should just go ahead and click on the top 5. And we'll just do this for 20 seconds or so. Okay, a couple of these are kind of obvious. Some of them might not be. I'll tell you, if you're not clicking on Wi-Fi, click on Wi-Fi. Okay. So, all right. So here are the top amenities that travelers search on. Let's see if I can do this. Wi-Fi, pet friendly, washing machines, parking, and kitchen. These are the top 5. Now, do these sound like Flexcation amenities? Yeah. Okay. Wi-Fi, absolutely. If you guys don't have Wi-Fi listed as an amenity, which many of you don't, please set it up as an amenity. And if you've got high-speed Wi-Fi, it's super important. It is really, really critical, because that's what people need on these Flexcations, where they're working, where they're playing and going to school. They have to have high-speed Wi-Fi for sessions like this, right? And if you don't have high-speed Wi-Fi, let them know where they can go, where there's a Starbucks nearby, or where there's a library that has parking lot internet access, whatever. Pets allowed. Remember, people want to bring their families to live in your homes now, and their pets are generally their family. And so there's been a big rise in searches on pet-friendly homes. So if you don't allow pet-friendly homes, or you haven't considered it, really consider it. There's lots and lots of money involved in pet-friendly homes. Washing machines, that's another living thing. Parking, and kitchens. Make sure you specify that your home has a kitchen. All right. Because many of our listings don't, and you know, you sit there and go, it's a vacation rental. Of course they know that we have a kitchen. A lot of people don't, because a lot of people are renting vacation rentals for the first time. So make sure that you have kitchens listed as an amenity, okay? And moving forward, you're going to see us offering more and more amenities to specify, including the speed of your Wi-Fi. That is so important. Okay, enough on that. With regards to Hostaway and managing your amenities through Hostaway, really easy ways to do it. Marcus.
Yeah, the picture doesn't really make it justice, because they're actually drop downs with hundreds and hundreds of items in there. But one of the nice things is you can adjust these, and they'll update on all three platforms here. And this is a recent improvement. Something I wanted to mention is these amenities matter. It's not always black and white. So whether you have Wi-Fi or not may not be the right answer or the right question when there's hundreds of properties out there that also have Wi-Fi, I think the right question is the Wi-Fi good enough for me to do a video conference on or even a webinar on? Because that's what really matters. And that's what you have the opportunity within the amenities to add a description there. So if it's a Wi-Fi that's actually good enough for that, you will secure additional bookings. I happen to know that because I've been arranging work trips for almost 10 years now, and it's always been a challenge when someone advertises that they have good Wi-Fi. The real question is how good. But it goes for the other amenities too. If you say that it's pet friendly, well, what does that actually mean? Can you bring your two big dogs or can you not? Another way of doing it that I've seen property managers, sometimes they have descriptions of the properties that read more like a real estate ad. And in some cases that really secure bookings. For example, if you have beautiful sunsets, well, that's great. People might want that. But on the other hand, when people buy real estate, that's very different from staying somewhere. Because when you stay somewhere, you want an experience. You don't want an investment. So saying that it has a beautiful south-facing lot doesn't really bring value. But if you say perfect for play with the family or for your pets to run around, that's the value that you get. That's the experience. And this is what you can communicate with these amenities. But do keep in mind, if people use filters, it doesn't matter how well you describe it or not, then it's really black and white. So if they filter out all the properties that don't have a pool, then you're not going to be on that list. And of course, if you don't have a pool, it's pretty hard to actually have the pool selected. But for other amenities, you want to make sure that you have them, because it's quite often that people have things that they forget to put in the amenities. So remember to double check that.
Yeah, excellent. And one thing is that we are constantly identifying and launching new amenities. In fact, we're going to be launching a whole bunch of them here in the very, very near future. And so the really cool thing about working with a company like Hostaway is that they set it up for you so you can manage everything through your software, and they do it very, very quickly, very responsive. So thank you for that. All right, so where did my little thingy go? All right, trend number 3, cleanliness is critical. I'm not going to belabor this point. Actually, I think that's trend number 4. I'm sorry, we might be off, but that's trend number 4. Cleanliness is critical, all right? So we all know this. If you don't know this, you should know this. But here's the fact of the matter. 82% of all travelers say that cleaning information is really, really important to them when they're making a booking decision, okay? That has all come from COVID-19. Now, some of you guys haven't made any changes whatsoever to your cleaning protocols because you guys did such a great job before COVID happened, but some of you guys have improved it. Keep moving forward because it is the new normal. Okay, COVID-19 cleaning is now the new normal. And here's some information on it. Really, really promote your cleaning practices on Vrbo. Let them know what you guys do. Let them know what your safety measures are. Let them know if you have a 1-day break and 1-day rest period for your homes between guest stays. Let them know what's going on, okay? Now, the fact of the matter is, folks are looking for this information. Amazingly, only 14% of the listings that are managed by integrated property managers, that's you, actually have entered cleaning practices on Vrbo. Only 14%. So don't be that 14%. You may be missing out on bookings. That 82% of folks that think it's important are looking for that information, and only 14% of you have got that information on your listings. Okay, so something to think about, something to be aware of. Now, communicating what travelers are looking for to book your homes. Describe those cleaning practices. Give them as much detail as you can, right? That's based on CDC guidelines. Provide contactless check-in and check-out. They love you, but they do not want to see you. Okay, that's one of the benefits of vacation homes. And again, adding your cleaning practices to your listing. Okay, now here's Marcus to talk about cleaning and Hostaway.
Yeah, so of course we have you have the ability to enter it right in Hostaway, and it will be advertised so that they the guests know right when they book, so that you don't become one of those 14%. There's also worth keeping in mind that the cleanliness is not only important because of COVID. It's a vaccine is not going to fix that. The reason why people want clean places is the two previous trends that we saw there: staycations and families. If you go on a business trip to a city, you're going to spend most of the day in offices, most of the evening in restaurants, and then you're going to go sleep in a hotel room. It doesn't matter really if it's clean behind the sofa or not, because you're never going to look there. In fact, you're never even going to sit on the sofa. But when you spend an entire month or two with your family and your pets, and they crawl under the sofa, then it matters what's there. And that's something that's not going to go away. So if you actually do have exceptional cleaning and you have exceptionally clean places, that's something that will drive demand for many years to come. So make sure that you advertise that, because that's something that especially people who stay longer, they will really appreciate that.
And if your floors are clean enough for babies to eat off of, tell them that too.
Yes,
I have two small grandkids, and they are constantly they're crawling on the floor, they're picking stuff up, right? Those are the ones that you wanna solve for. Okay.
Exactly.
So really great, really great. All right, trend number 5. I can't believe this. I can't even count to 7 properly. So trend number 5 is flexibility. All right, 8 out of 10 travelers still are looking for flexibility, and they're more likely to book your homes with flexible cancellation policies, because the world is still a little bit unsure, although folks are starting to get a lot more confident. And as I mentioned to you, more and more people are looking to travel this year, but still that flexibility does count. And so here's how it shows up. The guest on the left looks at the listing, and then they can check off any one of these 3 things. And so that's the filter. And then on the right is how things show up. And it shows up with this little badge here that says free. They click on 14 days before cancellation, and then we show 14 days before cancellation on the specific listing. So just be aware that that's going on, okay? And that guests are looking for that. All right. So with regard to Hostaway, the whole idea is managing your flexible cancellation policies through your software. Marcus.
All right, so here are the settings within Hostaway. Here's the mapping, how they are on Vrbo. So the top 2 ones here, the flexible, that's the one that Vrbo calls relaxed, and the moderate is a very original word, moderate. And those are the 2 ones that you can use in order to increase your bookings. But we also offer the other 3 options.
Yep. And I will, and in all fairness, I will tell you that we're seeing kind of an increase, and it depends on your market, the people who are actually going back to their original, more strict cancellation policies. But just be aware that travelers are looking for that, and but it all depends on your market and what's right for your business. Okay. So trend number 6. Okay, I am back on track. I'm back on knowing how to count. Pricing and transparency. This is very, very important. 33% of families are planning on spending more in 2021. And this is something for you guys to know. We know this from our data, that properties that have fees that are at or below the nightly rate see 50% more bookings. In other words, if you have a nightly rate of $100, and your total fees are $100 or less, those homes are seeing 50% more bookings on Vrbo, okay? So excessive fees do make a difference. Families are looking for value, they're looking for transparency. And so this is actually an example of a live listing. So you can see this. Travelers, a quote on the left, the homes listed are beautiful. The prices are nice until you click to book. The deposits are unreal and the fees are outrageous. That is the real quote. Now on the right, it shows an actual example where you have $50 a night. You guys can go through this. 4 nights is $201. But you go down to the bottom, and the total for this $201 booking is $907.16. Okay. So person's going, oh, it's $50 a night. Okay, honey, 4 nights, $200. And then they get slapped with a $907 quote, right? This is how it would show up. And this is what you need to know about Vrbo, because this is how we are trying to be as transparent and forthright as possible. Both the nightly rates and the total price appear on your listing in the search results, okay? And it includes fees. So try to keep them as low as possible. In this example, you got the $400 per night fee, and then it shows the total. And in this case, it also includes taxes and as well as fees. Now in the hotel world, this part of the experience often does not include taxes. And so we're testing on including taxes and not including taxes. We're testing on both ways to figure out the best way to do this to maximize conversions for you. But this is also done in all different currencies. But just know that we are now showing the nightly rate as well as the total on the search result page, okay? So that's very, very important. And with regards to Hostaway and managing your pricing, here's Marcus.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to show we have a lot of different tools that you can use for adjusting the pricing, but adding extra fees on top is probably not a good way to go, like John just showed there. Now, what you can do is you can do bulk edits, and you can set up various calendar rules and also have discounts on weekly and monthly stays. I also wanted to mention that we do offer, we have 3 integrated dynamic pricing partners. They're called Beyond Pricing, Price Labs, and Wheelhouse. And they have software that's specialized at setting the right rates. So that's something that you can try, especially if, I know sometimes people are a bit hesitant to, and wonder if you can really automate that. But if you have 2 fairly similar properties, try one of them for a season. Most of the times when people do that, they find out that they end up making more money when they do use a dynamic pricing tool, which is what we recommend. But yeah, that's usually a stronger strategy than adding on extra fees.
Yeah, that is amazing advice, right? Because the whole world of revenue management, revenue performance is new to a lot of people. And so what Marcus was saying was, you know, take 2 homes that are kind of similar and use these tools on one of the homes for 1 season and see how it works, right? And that way you'll get some experience, because it's an evolution. It's not a revolution in the world that we live in. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is that, you know, right now demand is outstripping supply. It's just happening all over the country and in a lot of parts of the world. And so in a lot of cases, in a lot of markets, you can get away with charging a lot very high fees. And that's okay, because you gotta take care of your own business. But just be aware that of the statistic that I shared with you, so you can be aware of what's going on out there. All right, last one. Trend number 7, drivable and outdoor recreation destinations. As we all know, people don't want to go into the cities right now. And a lot of people don't want to hop on airplanes, though I did see a picture of Dallas-Fort Worth Airport the other day, and it was unbelievably packed. So air travel might be back, but still there's a lot of people that don't want to hop on airplanes. So this is what we're seeing in our surveys. 59% of folks are more likely to drive than fly. 61% want to visit outdoorsy destinations away from crowds, and also socially distant activities like going to national parks and monuments. And again, trying to stay away from big crowds of people. And so in terms of making your listing pop with regards to different places, different locations, you can do that inside your software.
Yeah, so here's first of all a couple of things you can do in order to make it easier to find. You can add exact location, but you can also choose to show it as an exact location. Now, on the screenshot, we happen to have a city, but if you're outside a city, it can make a big difference where you're located. And if you don't see any downside, then enable this, because it will make it easier for people to book
and see exactly where the home is. Okay.
Exactly.
Good. All right. So just for a quick recap, it's all about families with Vrbo. Okay. And one of the things that we're told all the time by our property management partners is that they love Vrbo guests. And families rock. They're just the best. Flexcations are a phenom. They're a phenomenon. And just be aware that that's going on, and make the necessary and appropriate adjustments to your listings. And by the way, what I'm sharing with you does not only apply on Vrbo, it also applies to your own website. Okay, so if nothing else, take what we teach you, and it's free research for you guys that we spend millions and millions of dollars putting together. And we're saying, here, go do this. Number 3, amenities drive bookings. Cleanliness is forever. Okay. Travelers still want flexible cancellation policies, lower fees, increased conversions, and drivable destinations continue to be very, very popular. All right. So with that, I just want to tell you a few things about Vrbo and you. We love property managers. We have lots and lots of, we've made a commitment. We've not only made a commitment, but property managers are part of our DNA. We've learned you guys run very complex operations. We understand that you guys have owners that you have to work with, and you guys manage what we call a two-sided marketplace, just like we do, because you have guests that you have to manage, and you have owners to manage. Well, we have guests, and we also have you, right? And so we have very, very similar business models. Now, the other thing is that we are totally aligned. And what I mean by that is that we are in a place with you where the more we can make you successful, the more successful we become. And so our interests are very, very much aligned. And 100% of our business goes through partners. We don't own a single property management company. We don't own a single vacation rental. Now we have employees that own vacation rentals, but we as a company do all of our business through you, our partners. And so, we want to do everything we can to make you guys successful. Global exposure. We have over 200 sites across 70 different countries. It's not only Vrbo, but it's Expedia Group. And you're going to see Vrbo and Expedia Group coming more and more closely together as we consolidate our technology and consolidate our businesses. And from a technology standpoint, the future is amazingly promising and super, super exciting. Quality Vrbo travelers. I mentioned to you that a lot of folks like our travelers a lot, and they prefer our travelers. They tend to be more affluent. They tend to be much more family oriented. They stay longer and spend more money. What's not to like more about that, right? And they take care of the homes. They take care of the homes, and they understand that they're living in other people's homes and not in some big company's asset. You know what I mean? Personalized support. You have a partner success team. You have phone numbers you can call. You have live people you can call, and these people want you to call them. And their job is to let you know what's going on, what the latest that's happening that you need to. And they look at your system, they look at your homes, they look at your listings, and they let you know what's missing, or they let you know the new things that we found out, and they let you know the kinds of adjustments you can make to increase conversions. Why? Because the more bookings you get, the more money we make. Again, it's very much aligned. You get 24/7 resources from Hostaway and from Vrbo, evangelism and strong representation. I'm an evangelist. I'm also an ombudsman. And what that means is when I evangelize, my job is to inform and also to hopefully inspire a little bit. But as an ombudsman, which is even more important, My job as an executive at Vrbo and at Expedia Group is to take what I learned from you guys and to bring it back to the company so that we can figure out how to be better partners to you. I think we're the only company in the world that has anything like that. And you guys are very, very important. And we only have that function, my function, for integrated property managers like you guys. So we're investing. Finally, programs and perks. Premier Host is a new program. It's an updated program from Premier Partner that we have, which recognizes you as an amazing, amazing vacation rental property manager. And we also have a new listings fast start program. And I just want to share this with you. For those of you who are not listing, let me do this real quick. Haha, I messed up. For those of you who are not listening to Vrbo and would be new to it, we can take your guest reviews and we can transfer those rates, and we will publish those rates on Vrbo to give you a fast start. Okay, so that's something that is new, but the whole idea is for you to be able to easily jump aboard with Vrbo and start getting bookings very, very quickly. Now I'm going to go backwards really quick. Back to partner success. They can also provide you with what we call market insights reports. And these are reports that are evolving every single day because the world is evolving every single day, and it's based on our data. It's a 6-page report on your particular given market. If you contact Partner Success, they'll run this report for you, and they'll send this report. And by the way, if you come on board with Vrbo and you're part of this webinar, they'll do it specifically for you. And they give you that listing optimization coaching. They give you technical support, and again, real people that you get to talk to. So if you want to contact them, there's a little email address right there called Vrbo for PMs at expediagroup.com. Vrbo for PMs at expediagroup.com, and you can just send an email to those folks, and they will take you forward. Onboarding is very, very easy. Self-service tools, and once you set up your listings, we will reach out to you. And all you have to do if you want to get started is go to vrbo.com. Well, just go to that URL. It's not as simple as I prefer, but anyway, vrbo.com/p/onboard, or just take a screenshot of this slide. Okay, now about the whole idea about listing your homes on Vrbo, we got to make it easy. And that's one of the things that's amazing about Hostaway. So, Marcus.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, I wanted to just say that it was a good presentation about Vrbo. Often when I speak to property managers, they get great results from the start, but sometimes when they don't, it's because of what was mentioned there. You have, well, as you humbly put it, you have better guests. But what it really said there was affluent and family oriented. Now, one reason that a lot of property managers don't get as many bookings as they expected when they go live on Vrbo is because their descriptions aren't reflecting that. Because if you have descriptions that are targeted to an audience that has been on another platform for years, and you have improved that description over years, maybe that description is something that appeals to an audience which is not affluent and family oriented. And one of the great things you can do is you can have a different description on different sites. So in Hostaway, you can just go and edit the the Vrbo description, and just keep that in mind that it can be an entirely different target audience than you're used to, and usually a better one, but you can't use the same sales argument. So if it's a great place for a group of business people who travel for a conference to stay for the week because it's cheaper than a hotel, that's great for where those people go and book. But those people are probably not going to book on Vrbo. Just keep that in mind. Now, when it's time for you, it's super simple to connect to Vrbo. It's just one button. You can see it here on the right side. It's called Export. And it needs to be clicked. It's very simple. You move your mouse to the export button, you hit the export, and that's it. sometimes there's missing information, and we actually, our software, we run a checklist of more than 200 items. Sometimes there's some information missing and we ask you about it. But basically, once you hit that button, if there's no questions asked, then you're ready to go live on Vrbo.
Unbelievable. I just learned something from you, Marcus. That was amazing. Yeah, one size does not fit all. And I mean, the home descriptions and everything. Yeah, that is amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, and so I just want to end this on this slide here. You know, some of you guys might have heard me speak before, and you might have heard me say this, but it's all about love. It's all about bringing people together. It's all about bringing loved ones together to connect and be together, right? And so it's such a wonderful industry to be part of, and it's such a wonderful way to be able to make a living. And as I mentioned to you at the very beginning, with regards to travel being a force for good, and we, the collective we, being a force for travel, we really have a wonderful opportunity here. And especially, I mean, it's just kind of serendipitous because everybody wants to travel, right? A whole bunch of people want to travel now because they've been cooped up in their homes and everybody's just been itching to go someplace. And I also want to let you know that within Expedia Group, we have an initiative about inclusion and diversity. And I have to tell you, it's all about learning about different people, how they look at things, different races, different backgrounds, everything, and including everybody based on, based on a very diverse world. And, you know, I have to be honest with you, 6 or 12 months ago when we first started this, I kind of didn't get it because I travel all the time. I travel by myself. I've traveled all over the world. And then I come to realize that's the point, is that travel is based on my own personal perception. I never thought of women traveling. How many women feel as secure as I do walking around by themselves in a big city in a foreign country? Maybe not as many as I think, right? And then I come to learn that I'm a person of color. And I never thought of myself as a person of color. But, you know, different people with different backgrounds have different experiences when they travel. You know, there are some folks with different ethnicities who are fearful of the other side that they're talking to, trying to make a reservation with, finding out that they're a certain ethnic background because they don't want their reservation to be canceled. I mean, these things and these feelings are real. Another aspect that you're going to see us coming out with is giving advice on listings. For example, the word plantation is something we're taking out of Vrbo, okay? And we're going to let folks know how we're going to treat that. Now, in some cases, if you're creating that kind of an environment, it might be okay. But if it's something that that might spark bad feelings or fear in other people, we're probably not going to allow it anymore. We're also going to come out to you and let you know of our research. Things like changing the words master bathroom to primary bathroom. And we're seeing that happening all over, even in hotels. We're seeing this happen, which is really, really great. So you're going to see us coming out with our research and letting you know the research that we come up with so that you can make adjustments on your listings. And by and large, it's not going to be required, but we're going to let you know. Here's just some things to be aware of if you want to create a more inclusive environment to make your homes and your company more diversity welcoming. So so that's a really big thing that you're going to see. I'm super, super excited about it because it's all about bringing people together. And it's all about helping people be together and helping loved ones to connect. So it sounds kind of mushy a little bit, but that's the fact of the matter, and that's the direction that we're going in. So I'm thrilled to be part of this journey and to be with you guys. So with that, Marcus.
All right. Yes, we have a couple of minutes left. Thank you very much. Let's go to the Q&A. So now, if anyone has a question, please post it here. I'd like to introduce you all to Stacy from the customer success team at Vrbo. She will be joining and answering questions. So.
Hey guys, Stacy here. I work on the partner success team here at Vrbo. And so like John and Marcus mentioned, our whole goal is to help you guys get more bookings, optimize your account, understand market data and stuff like that. We do have a few questions in the Q&A, and if you want to add a few more, we have a little bit of a time. One is, which is a new feature, is asking how many properties are needed to integrate. So we recently changed that from 5 to just 1. So if you only have 1 listing and you want to integrate your property with us, then you're ready to. So just reach out to Hostaway, reach out to us, use any of those links that John shared, and we can get you started with that. Another one is came from Maria, and she asked about the Vrbo Boost program. And so with that, I want to tell you, we have 2 programs at Vrbo to really highlight our great hosts, and that's our Premier Host program and the Boost program. And both of those features are to reward our property managers and owners who treat our customers really well. And so with the Premier Host, you'll get badging, and this has actually recently changed just in the last few weeks, where you're badged at the listing level. Now you're badged at your account level. So we're rewarding property managers with low cancellation rates, great reviews, lots of bookings. And with that comes the Boost program. And what the Boost program does is it allows you to get points for every booking that is reserved, and then additional points for when they come and stay. And then you get to use those points to boost your property during certain time periods. So if you know, I need a booking for this week, I don't have anything yet, you can use those boost points to increase your ranking during that time. And it's definitely something you'll want to chat with our customer support team or account management team on how to use it. But just to be aware, those are 2 features that are available. Let's see, another question was, does Vrbo support hostels and booking beds? In general, what Vrbo is looking for is family-friendly inventory. So we want to see a property that has a kitchen and has its own access. So we're not looking at, in general, we're not looking at hotel-type properties.
One thing I could add there is that last year we added support for multi-units. So if you got, let's say, individual units or cottages or cabins, and you got 40 of them, and you don't want to have 40 different listings, you can set it up as one, and it can be booked 40 times over on Vrbo.
Yep, something we support too, and it's just kind of nice, especially like you said, we don't want to flood the market or a listing page with 40 of the same properties. Basically, one listing will show, and behind that is the 40 calendars. Let's see.
So yeah, the split payments, thanks Bree for asking. I understood that it's now available, and but we're not entirely sure if it's released. So it's either going to show up on Vrbo this week or the next, or it's already fixed there. But yeah, you can see Maria's also answering. Then yeah, the next question, any amenities you noticed that are in more demand from guests since the pandemic occurred? I actually don't have any answer other than the things you need, like kitchen and Wi-Fi, things you need for longer stays and for families.
Wait for it. Yeah, here it is. Dun, da, da. Yep, those. Okay, these are the ones right now that you really want to be aware of.
Yeah, another big feature that we've noticed recently is booking lead time, right? So it has shortened dramatically. So if you're seeing, like, I'm not getting near as many bookings as I had last year at this time, just be aware that the lead booking time has decreased dramatically in most markets. There are some specific questions like about your actual account, so we'll definitely reach out to you one-on-one to answer those. Let's see, I think we've answered most of them. Do we see any that is missing, Marcus, or anything that you guys want to add?
Well, we're at time.
Let's see here. Yeah, someone asked about the Expedia email address, that it's bouncing.
Yeah, I think I checked it yesterday. Let me, hopefully it does work. And if not, let's use the onboarding link or just reach out to our support team from there.
Does sales at Expedia Group work, or sales at
it's yeah, another one you can use is PM Sales Inquiry at expediagroup.com.
PM Sales Inquiry.
And we'll, I think we'll follow this up with an email with the recording, and then hopefully we can include the onboarding link, links for Hostaway, and email address to reach out.
Yeah, all right.
Great.
All right, well, we'll follow up with the recording of the webinar after this. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, John. Thank you, Stacy. And thanks to the great team behind the scenes. Thanks to all the attendees as well. Have a lovely day and see you soon.
Thanks all.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.